Have you ever Googled a phrase like, am I a narcissist? Or something like, how do I know if I'm a narcissist? Or how do you tell if you're a narcissist? Have you ever Googled that? Have you ever wondered if you are a narcissistic person? Have you been told that you're narcissistic? Well, if you said yes to any of those questions, this episode is for you. Welcome. Welcome to Waking Up from Narc Abuse, a micro podcast by Alana Sanborn. This is a micro podcast. It's meant to start your thoughts flowing. It's meant to be the beginning of a conversation, a dialogue, not a monologue. Because we're talking about something that's pretty heavy, my hope is that shorter episodes that are easier to digest will help you without overwhelming you. And here is today's show. This questioning of self is something I see a lot in the narcissistic abuse survivors I work with. They often come to me wondering where they went wrong, how they messed up everything, and what is wrong with them. Now, of course, it's true that in every relationship dynamic, there are various factors at play. It's not all just one person. However, in narcissistic relationship dynamics, the bad actor is generally the narcissist. The narcissist is typically the person who's doing things that will inflict harm or pain on the person I work with. And the person I work with, whom I'll call a people pleaser, typically should be answering the question, who taught you that it's okay to be treated this way? We're going to delve into how they got to this place where being treated so miserably was acceptable to them. And in fact, they fought for the relationship with someone who was so terrible to them. That's what needs to be explored, but not right away. That's later. The people pleaser's issues are typically internal, and the narcissist behaviors and issues are external. They inflict them on others. People pleasers accept things that they shouldn't. They accept things that are unhealthy. They tolerate poor behavior in order to earn love. People pleasers come to me wondering what they've done wrong in those relationships, like I've said. And they also come carrying very heavy luggage full of shame, confusion, and guilt. They've likely been carrying these things for a lifetime, but the narcissist has poked and prodded until these emotional states come to the surface and plague the people pleaser to no end. This trifecta of emotional states, guilt, shame, and confusion, are where the people pleaser hangs out, wondering what they did wrong, wondering, am I the narcissist? They wonder this for two main reasons. One, they've been conditioned by a narcissist in their earlier years to believe they are troubled, full of problems, and selfish. Two, the most recent narcissist in their lives has outright told them they are a narcissist. This is pure projection, by the way, and we'll have to talk about projection in a later episode because it's a major thing with narcissists because they have trouble delineating between themselves and others. We'll get to that another time. So the most common thing I see in my practice is people who have been conditioned to believe that they are not good enough when they were younger. And now that has been exploited by a narcissist until it morphs into the much more damaging belief of, I'm no good. I'm bad. In a weird way, blaming yourself, believing you're bad, is a way of coping. It's kind of the most comfortable alternative to the reality because the reality is honestly much, much scarier and more awful. Think about it. If you are a person who strives to be a good human, learn from your mistakes, improve your relationships, and better the lives of those around you, which is most of the people I work with, and you have a serious issue with someone in your life, Are you going to settle for the answer that that person is beyond help? That that person is actually messing with you on purpose, intentionally hurting you, brainwashing you, convincing you to do their will, and blaming yourself when things go wrong? Or are you going to be much more satisfied with the prospect that you are the problem and therefore you can fix the problem? Let me tell you, for most people, it's much more satisfying and hopeful to hear that you can do something about an issue. Much less satisfying to be told that it's not you, it's them. And not only that, there's nothing to be done. So my clients often take the blame, and in some ways it feels better that way. When they believe they are the wrongdoers, they don't have to admit that the world is a wild and scary place, full of unknowns, terrible people, and harsh realities. They can settle in for a good book and lots of fretful thoughts about how they are worthless, but that they'll do better next time. To illustrate my point, I'm going to offer you two sets of questions, and you'll see how they differ and which one brings up more anxiety than the other. Which one makes you feel more in control? So, if you think you're the narcissist, you'll be asking questions like this. How can I fix this? What did I do wrong? Where do I get help for this? Who have I hurt and how can I make it better? What will I do differently so I can avoid this pain in the future? If you discover you are not the narcissist in this scenario, here are the questions you'll ask. Who can I trust? What other dangers lurk out there? What is true? What is real anymore? Is everyone out to get me? Why did this happen to me? How can I possibly trust myself to choose the right people as friends or romantic partners? Do you see the difference between those two sets of questions? Do you see why one option feels better than the other? The first option, I'm the problem, it gives you more control. It's anxiety producing. However, it's internal. It's not this external, amorphous, scary thing that can come at you at any moment without you knowing. It's not going to surprise you on the street corner. The second set of questions sets you up to believe the world is a scary place and that anyone, even someone who claims to love you, can hurt you terribly. That's really not a fun thing to believe, is it? It's really not calming. It doesn't feel helpful. It's scary, and you have no control over any of it. There's nothing you can do in that scenario. The first belief, I'm the narcissist, it gives my clients more control. But it also confirms that early belief they have of not being good enough, which is really devastating. Because every single person that comes to work with me, they're incredible. You are incredible. You are good enough. You truly are. Humans are so complex, aren't we? It's both a beautiful and a vexing thing, how complex we are. The conclusion here is if you relate to some of the stories I share, if you see yourself in the people pleaser I've described during this episode, if you are someone who tries to learn about their own emotional self, who tries to work on their issues and be a better human in the world, then I'm speaking to you. Listen up. You are not the narcissist. I'm going to say it again. You are not the narcissist. Let me just answer that for you right now. If you are Googling that stuff, stop. If you're taking quizzes on whether you're the narcissist, stop. I mean, do it as much as you want, but I can give you an easy answer right here. You're not. It's not you. It's them. And I know that kind of sucks in one way, and it's also relieving in another way. The real battle you have is not with the narcissist, but with that internal belief you have that you're not good enough. That's the real battle. That's the part out of all of this that really needs to be addressed. How do we fix that? How do we get in there and scramble up those words in your brain so that they now say, I'm good enough. I'm way good enough. Instead of, I'm not good enough. Maybe we'll do it together. I'm game. I'm here for you. So, good luck out there. And as always, take care of yourself.